Let's go next to SD from Dallas, Texas. SD, you're on the air.
Hi, David. Um, what is your take on the states are now making the new maps for all the legislative districts, and I want to know what's your take so far on the gerrymandering for this coming decade?
I've not read that much about it other than there are some interesting districts that could just be eliminated. Like, for example, Lauren Boebert's district, I guess, if the proposed map is accepted, she may just not have a district anymore. I've not, one of the things I'm trying to do is when there's like maybes, let's wait and see if something is happening unless there's really something specific that could be done to change the course. And with a lot of this, the gerrymandering and district drawing that's being proposed, we're still waiting to see like what are the final submissions and are they even really going to be accepted. So I don't know. I mean, what's your take? Are there particularly egregious examples that we should be looking at?
Oh yes, oh yes, yeah. You can look at states like Texas and Ohio. It is like absolutely egregious. The state legislature here absolutely murdered the DFW area. But I guess what I was really more looking into is knowing that the gerrymandering is going to be pretty egregious across a lot of these red states. Is it worth dropping the principle of no gerrymandering in blue states and just fighting fire with fire at this point?
I know this is always the thing, which is if the Republicans are just going to keep doing it in the states they control, isn't it unilateral disarmament to say, all right, well, we'll
Yes.
draw them fairly in the blue states, and then they'll draw them completely unfairly in the red states. I think on this, for as long as these are the rules, Democrats have no choice but to use the system to their advantage when they can, because otherwise we will never even get the opportunity to change how this is done. But the goal has to be to change the system. And then, of course, you get to this question of, are people who got in because of the system we have really going to be motivated to change it? And that's a very legitimate question, which we addressed, I think it was last week on the show. But no, I mean, listen, if Democrats just say, let's draw perfectly square districts everywhere and do everything perfectly, and then Republicans keep doing like their Dan Crenshaw districts, it's one of the most egregious examples Republicans do, then it just further makes it so that Democrats will never actually be in power and able to really deal with this issue. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Absolutely. Right on, David. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for the call. Very important question. Very important question. There are areas where we say we're not going to stoop to that level because then we are as bad as them. When this is the system, it's sort of like saying, I won't even accept political donations. Okay, well, then we just lose, right? Okay, we have to work to change, we have to do campaign finance reform, but we will never even get that opportunity if everybody on the left is like, I won't even do campaign donations. No, the person who raises more money tends to win, and it's just an unfortunate reality. Let's go next to, let's go to Brody from Dallas. We haven't heard from Brody for a while. What's going on there?
Hey, what's up, David? I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Thanks. I wasn't expecting you to call me so quickly. It's good to speak to you again. I had a few questions regarding the infrastructure bill and the midterms. As you probably and as you reported on and are aware, the Progressive Caucus are seeking to basically get the deal that was agreed to previously, which is the infrastructure and the both bills moving at the same time. Do you anticipate if it fails, meaning if both bills are not passed at the same time, that the blame is going to be placed on the progressives solely? Do you think it will be blamed on the Democrats? What do you think the fallout will be, and what do you anticipate to happen with that bill?
It really depends on the media coverage between now and whenever that ultimately happens. I think that all of the usual suspects are going to do all of the usual blaming. So Republicans will blame Democrats for crazy bills, too much spending, blah, blah, blah. Centrist Democrats will try to blame the progressive wing. The progressive wing will say centrist Democrats trying to make nice with Republicans is what ultimately. So all the usual suspects will do all the normal blaming. What narrative succeeds is ultimately going to depend on corporate media coverage, and that is unfortunately always the case. But I just think there's no way to know right now. Everybody will attempt to blame exactly who we would expect, but whether that will stick in the minds of people as this is who is to blame, I just don't know yet. It's sort of like when we have this debt ceiling issue, and sometimes the public blames Democrats more, sometimes they blame Republicans more. Typically, it's just the fault of Republicans, but the media coverage of it is often what determines who gets the blame politically. It's an unfortunate reality, but it is the reality.
And I have one last quick question. Do you think that there'll be any fallout from the debt ceiling argument and posturing with regards to maybe increasing support for changing or carving out the filibuster, or do you think it'll remain the same?
I'm not sure I know what you mean. Whether the filibuster argument will be affected by whether these bills pass?
I'm sorry. On a separate track with McConnell posturing over the debt ceiling and shutting down the government, will that put any impetus in a change on how folks feel about the filibuster, you think?
Sadly, I don't think so. I don't know. I guess to just keep it short, I don't think so.
Right on. Well, thanks, David. It was good to talk to you.
Pleasure. All right. There's Brody from Dallas. One of our sponsors is Four Sigmatic, the company best known for their delicious mushroom coffee. Four Sigmatic's mushroom coffee is organic, fair trade, single origin Arabica coffee with both lion's mane and chaga mushrooms. Chaga mushrooms have actually been shown to have potential in supporting the immune system in peer-reviewed studies. I've been drinking Four Sigmatic coffee a lot lately. It actually doesn't taste anything like mushrooms. It just tastes like any delicious coffee, but it's really easy on my stomach, doesn't give me any jittery feeling or a midday crash, and they have over 20,000 five-star reviews. And best of all, if you don't love it, you'll get 100% of your money back because they stand behind their product. You've got nothing to lose by giving it a try. Four Sigmatic is giving my audience up to 40% off and free shipping when you go to foursigmatic.com/Pacman. The link is right underneath this video.